Previously on Space Cadets, after months of auditions, 9 contestants and 3 undercover actors were taken to an airfield in Kent.
You are about to become the very first televised British space tourist. On you get.
They were flown around the UK in the dark for 4 hours before landing at our fake space training facility in Suffolk.
Добро пожаловать на российскую военно-космическую базу Крымск.
Thankfully, they were convinced by the whole illusion and quickly settled into Russian life.
Nastrovoya.
And this is where they're all praying they'll end up, aboard this state-of-the-art space shuttle simulator. Welcome to Space Cadets. Yep, it may not be in Russia, it may be incapable of leaving the ground, but it really is an impressive bit of kit, even if all these amazing looking buttons do actually nothing. Fire, fire, death, death! Nothing. 3 of the Space Cadets, boldly led by our undercover actors, will be sitting here on Monday night thinking they're being blasted into space for a 5-day mission. Would it convince you? I don't know. I mean, I'm looking out the window just there. I can see the sort of projection of Earth. It's kind of convincing, but I'm really, really not sure. I don't know. You know, it seems real enough in here. It's just whether they get the special effects right. What I do know is that no expense has been spared to convince them the whole operation is above board, and a key man in that operation is the man responsible for their physical fitness. Now, this is a genuine Russian called Val. And let me tell you this, Val may have a lady's name, but I wouldn't advise anyone saying so to his face. So bear witness, please, to the brutal reality of Val.
Val, 15 years in the Russian army, ex-KGB Special Forces, 6'2" of solid muscle, capable of stopping his own heart. And he's here to get our cadets into shape. First, he assesses their physical fitness.
Welcome to Russia! No, you're doing wrong. Come on. Everything is tense. Out of him up.
And does something weird to Charlie. Before pushing the cadets to the limit in twice-daily physical training classes.
In! Out! Let's go! Move! This is not England. Breathe! Turn around, next one! Down! No time! Move! Hand straight! Wake up!
Go!
Straight legs! 1! 2! 3!
Hardest man I have ever met.
It's like Spider-Man, God, and like the Terminator rolled into one, and then like times that by like 1,000, and you've got Val.
Val, welcome to his world of pain.
How about that? Like Spider-Man, God and Terminator rolled into one, times by 1,000. But hey, enough about Steve. Of course, not everyone shares Kerry's enthusiasm for Val and his fitness regime. 3 characters in particular found it a struggle. You see, they felt that they hadn't signed up for this kind of punishment. I speak, of course, of our actors.
You breathe in as much as you can, and you run, and you keep breathing out. Ha! Push!
Val, he's killing me. He may kill me. You never told me it was going to be this tough.
That side's doing easy.
This is really hard. I'm telling you that now. Hard, boring, painful, annoying. Slightly fun. And I'm hoping the whole fun thing is going to crank up a little bit. Before I die at the hands of Val.
If I see anyone getting late to do 30 push-ups.
I've never had so many sore muscles in my life as what I have had working with Val.
Steve, don't put too much weight on my shoulders.
I've got a really sore quad, really sore stomach, and I have worked hard before physically. It's not that, I don't know. Thanks, Val.
Keep breathing, that's your lungs. Use them. Come on, keep going. Come on, Steve, mate.
Come on, Steve!
Just breathe normally. Just let...
Keep going.
Just breathe in. Keep breathing in out your mouth.
All the way up, all the way up.
I'm just going to take a minute.
Keep speed. I want you to walk. Yep, walk now, walk. Don't stop. Stand in, stand out. Hop, hop, hop. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Steve, this is not England. I'm not feeling sorry for you.
I'm not asking you to.
Just keep doing it. Yeah, I don't like your face. Come on.
I'm going to appoint myself the brains of this outfit. Someone else is going to have to be the body, because there's no way I could be the body on this one.
Hold the way down. Whoa, come on.
One time.
Halfway up.
I just feel absolutely fucked. I never expected it to be like that.
Keep your hands on the shoulders, just open up. Face me. Hop, 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 hop.
Better?
Want a bit of strength?
Step up.
Shit. Yeah? Oh. Better? Yes.
Oh, shit, put me down, please.
Awaken?
Yeah.
See?
Yep. I think it's safe to say that once we give them their phones back, there'll be a few angry calls to their agents. Anyway, thankfully for the actors, space training isn't all about being bullied by a man mountain from Moscow in a car park in Ipswich. Luckily, they've got a nice, warm lecture room to attend as well. Now, some of the lectures are given by internationally renowned space expert Chris Welch, and some are given by, well, actors who are better known. How do I put this? They're better known locally. Yes, locally. One thing all the lectures have in common, though, is that they're all about 80% true-ish, sometimes.
Over the course of their training, the cadets will endure 65 hours of intensive tuition. We're just over 2 weeks in, and so far they've undergone 6 hours of first aid.
Keep your mouth right round it and blow. That's it, put it away, it's dripping on the floor. First thing, what we're going to do, what's your suggestions? Give me a list of things to do.
22 hours of space lectures learning what space is.
I'm going to explain nuclear fusion and nuclear fission in a minute.
Christ, I thought I'd never ever hear of that.
Our galaxy is one of a group of 30 galaxies, which are clustered together, which form our local group. It's called the Hazelnut Cluster, and it's 10 million light years across, so that's really big.
The hazelnut what?
The Hazelnut Cluster.
If they find out that there's a massive asteroid heading towards Earth whilst we're in space, might we be called upon to try and deal with it?
Like,
No.
oh my goodness.
They're not planning to issue guys with nuclear weapons.
I hope not.
A decision I'm all in favour of.
The history of space tourism.
And this guy here is Toyohiro Akiyama, and he had to do somersaults again and again and again and again and again and again until he was sick. And people had to guess how long it would take until he was sick.
They've learned all about spacesuits.
There you go. Just snap you on the back there. And your tackle goes in there, and that goes under your spacesuit. There you go.
Get nearly there, get nearly there. You're coming.
Look, it's a boy!
Wow! They've had a safety lecture on how to prepare your body for space.
Then yes, this goes up your backside and you walk around with it, kind of like gently squeezing it to try and fill yourself up. Then you come out and you sit on the loo, and it's, yeah, the world does fall out your backside.
The all-important how to live in space.
You have not washed your hands. You filthy, filthy creature.
And what to eat.
It was not designed for taste. It was designed specifically to get nutrients and calories to the astronauts to keep them going.
And a lesson on Tai Chi for relaxation.
Breathe in as you come to the left.
Breathing in, like a ball, turn round, change the ball.
Okay, and out as you come to the right.
Bring the ball around, change the ball, bring it back round.
There's different ways you can do the breathing.
They sat 2 exams.
Now, Cheryl, can you wipe that look of terror off your face?
You have 15 minutes, starting from now.
And trained for 2.5 hours on a multi-axis zero-gravity trainer, despite the fact they'll never experience zero gravity. Well, not yet anyway.
All right, let's do some word association, okay? Sexy.
Me!
Bikini.
Hot.
Star.
Space.
You doing okay?
Yes,
you want to sing us a song?
Yeah, I do. Down, 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 down. Disco dancing with the lights down low.
I'm sure you'll agree, the perfect training for life inside a pretend spaceship inside an aircraft hangar just outside Ipswich.
Now, obviously, by encouraging our lecturers to introduce these little fibs into their lectures, we are stretching the cadets' credibility even further and heightening our chances of being rumbled. Don't forget, if we are rumbled, we are off the air. Luckily, we still have our Plan 2. So valuable is this Plan 2 to us, we keep it in this isolation box in the onboard lab at the back of the shuttle. Yes, Jamie Oliver, the standby saviour of the Space Cadet universe. OK, we're going to take a break now, but when we return, we'll be learning all about the very first space pioneers, the bravest of the brave.
Minsky's exploits and heroic status led to the naming of the city Minsk in her honor. Did you know that?
No.
An entire city is named after this.
Welcome back to Space Cadets. I'm stood outside an old aircraft hangar near Ipswich, and in there is the state-of-the-art shuttle simulator that was used in Space Cowboys. Somewhere over, sort of there, I would think, are a group of Space Cadets who believe they are in Russia, and over there is Jay's Cafe that serves a very decent full English Monday to Saturday, and I have to say there is rather a cheeky waitress down there, and I asked her a couple of days ago for some brown sauce, and she sort of bent. OK. Anyway, the point is the Space Cadets are not going into space, but they don't know that. That is their bad news. However, their good news, and of course they don't know this either, is that if they were genuinely in Star City in Russia, they'd have to go through the living hell that is the zero-gravity plane ride. Now, apparently spaceheads call this the vomit comet, which takes me neatly onto my next item. Before the break, we saw the recruits put through an exhausting schedule by Val, the KGB's version of Mr. Motivator. After a physical and mental workout like that, you'd have expected the cadets to have slept like babies. And so they did, until events took a nasty turn and things started going in the night.
It's the middle of the night, and all is not well for one of the cadets.
Steve, hit the lights, hit the lights. All right, in a sec. What am I doing? Steve's in the sick room. Should be.
Look at me that way.
Very good, this, like this. No, I'm looking at my box. Very big box there.
You've been up all night, Steve? Has it just come on suddenly? Be careful.
Right. Just go sit down outside and look. Perhaps get him a bowl or something, so if he wants to be sick, he can be sick into it.
Nice squish.
Andrew, Paul and Billy are sitting up with Steve.
Do you want some water? Because I think it's best for you to get us all out in one fucking good go.
No, it's let him get the liquid out. He's got to froze. He's put water. He's just going to spew it straight back up.
Yeah,
straight back up.
That's what he needs.
But I think what we want to do is give him a couple of strepsils. Maybe a bacon sandwich.
20 minutes after Steve starts being ill, a producer enters the barracks.
Hi, I'm one of the producers from Channel 4.
Wow.
I've come to take Steve out because obviously he's not very well. We're just slightly concerned with vomiting and diarrhoea. Obviously that's quite highly contagious and we don't want you guys to get ill.
Yeah.
So we're just going to take him off somewhere else just until we know what's wrong with him.
Yeah, it seems alright, doesn't it?
Steve,
Yeah, I'm going back to bed now.
Right. Can you stand up for me and I'll take you out?
Steve!
I'll take you to the doctor. As quick as you can, that's it. That's it. Keep moving.
So there you go. You wonder what doctors have been fanning around at. If you're feeling ill tomorrow, couple of strepsils and a bacon sandwich, you'll be fine. So Steve's sick, the recruits rally round splendidly. It's just the sort of team spirit you'd expect from a close-knit bunch of astronauts. All for one, and one for all.
Yeah, he's had a fucking rough ride of it. Charlie ripped off his toe.
Oh, mate, that's true, actually.
Yeah, and now he's been sick.
Ripped off his toe, collapsed, been bench pressed by Val.
He's been bench pressed by Val. Bless him.
I think that's a liberty though. He went to the toilet and was sick and didn't tell anyone.
That's a fucking right liberty, man.
Yeah.
Because that's jeopardising us all, man.
Do you know what he said initially? I was sick last night. And I'm not even funny, I think he was, but you don't get that confused with...
Seriously, when he said that, I was about to fucking elbow drop him.
No, he was ill.
No, Paul, it was, seriously, and when I was like, what did he say? Didn't you think he switched the script and said, oh, I was sick thingy morning?
Yeah.
And he probably was sick last night, and if he was, I've been fucking chatting to him, face frontal, even though my immune system's pretty fucking strong.
I mean, he'd love to it, though. Fuck.
Could have told me.
No, but he could have told me because I'm fucking underneath him.
Oh, he fucking guffed, didn't he? That was seep through the mattress into your face.
No, all it means is that he just jeopardised most of us if he's really, really ill.
OK, I can now unsurprisingly reveal that Steve is out. Mission over, aborted launch, or more accurately, aborted lunch. He'd simply missed too much training. He was relocated to a nearby travel lodge to convalesce and regrow that toenail. However, I'm delighted to say he's hobbled in to see us tonight. You're right there, Steve.
I'm feeling much better now, thank you.
OK. Now, how has Mission Control explained your exit to our cadets?
Well, they basically said that because I'd been away for so long and missed so much training, it'd be unfeasible for me to go back in. But personally, I'd had a genuine case of gastroenteritis, so to go back in, expose the cadets to that and possibly ruin the whole show was just something I wasn't prepared to do.
OK. Have they bought this line, do you think, our cadets?
Oh, yes, definitely. There's been much sympathy rallying round and even got a nice little get-well card off Cheryl.
Well, it turned into quite a nice, good little bonding exercise again, didn't it?
Yes,
to get them feeling like a team, which is good. They share adversity and they kind of supported you, though. It's a good thing.
Yes, my illnesses bring people together, which is definitely good for them.
Any regrets? Do you wish you were still in there?
Yes, I do miss the camaraderie of the people in there. It was a cracking bunch of people.
And they're having a good time, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an amazing adventure to go on. It's better than any ride I've ever seen.
Oh, definitely, definitely. The chance, even for one of us to go and sit in the simulator like that, is definitely once in a lifetime experience, and I'm sorry I'm going to miss it.
OK, I'm sorry you're going to miss it too, but that was Steve. Thank you very much indeed. Back to the lecture hall, and a lesson that is less a case of a giant leap for mankind and more of a short, tragic walkie for mankind's best friend. For the record, everything you're about to hear and see about the dog is true. Everything about the monkey is false. Nonetheless, you might want to, I don't know, set your hankies to standby for this one. It's a bit... Have a look.
Neil Armstrong had made the giant leaps of mankind. Man's best friend had made many, many, many more giant leaps before. Can anyone tell me who the name of the first?
Leica,
You
yes.
you guys have been studying stuff. It's very good. Like, she was our hero. She became the first orbital cosmonaut aboard the Russian spacecraft Sputnik 2 in 1957. In the early days of research, the Soviets used 9 so-called space dogs to perfect all aspects of space travel. These dogs were involved in a multitude of tests. One experiment involved the dogs testing spacesuits in depressurized cabins designed to stimulate the zero-gravity environment. Leica was a good dog. We loved her very much. She was one of many stray dogs that were snatched off the streets. Through these tests, scientists were able to establish that all of the dogs that they were training, Leica was definitely the #1 to go up in the Sputnik 2, and as you can see, flying through space. The Sputnik 2 was designed to jettison its nose cone. And in jettisoning the nose cone, there was 2 major catastrophes. The first was that the detonation didn't occur as planned. And while the nose cone successfully separated, the propulsion unit did not engage. And aside from that, a little bit of insulation foam came off, heating, to save from the heating. These twin disasters caused the satellite's thermal control units to malfunction, and temperatures inside the spacecraft rocketed to over 40 degrees centigrade, with Leica inside. As the craft's interior temperature rocketed, the mission control screens monitoring Leica's progress went into overdrive before finally flatlining, as the little dog from Moscow finally succumbed to the stress and the heat. Later, on April 14th, 1958, Sputnik 2 crashed out of orbit and burned up on re-entry into the worst atmosphere. Leica was cremated. There's a monument erected in her honor. It's just outside Moscow. Apparently, the Dune song, "Million Miles from Home," was dedicated to Leica's memory. There she is.
So it's,
Listen. Did you listen to words? It's about Leica. Unlike the earlier Sputnik craft, Sputnik 5 was designed to withstand re-entry to the Earth's atmosphere and was equipped with parachutes to facilitate the safe landing of its 4-legged crew. It's very hard. 40. On board were the Russian dogs Strelka and Belka. Both dogs returned safely, both of them, these two. Both returned safely with their landing capsule, making Strelka and Belka the first living animals to survive orbital flight. It was generally the Americans who used monkeys and chips in their pioneering research into space travel. However, Russia did produce one historic ape, who I'm delighted to say we have here at Star.
Is that
Is that the actual one? Is that him?
On October 3rd, 1958, a squirrel monkey named Minsky became the first Russian animal to successfully pilot her capsule back to Earth, where she became a national hero. As a mark of respect, we've stuffed her, basically, and put her on display. She has become her own monument. This was Minsky's space nappy. It's been cleaned, but it's a little dusty, but it's right here. When you see Minsky in the hallways every day, it would be good for you to pay respect. It's just, you know, she was there first. She walked that path before you. It's because of her you're safe. Minsky's exploits and heroic status led to the naming of the city Minsk in her honor. Did you know that?
No.
An entire city is named after this. As you know, animals have played an extremely important, valid role in the history of space exploration. So, if you don't mind, we just take a moment of silence to remember all those that came before us. They paid the ultimate price. But now we can say it's safe.
Yeah, you little monkey woman. Whoop. You know the weird thing about that lecture? All he spoke about was dogs and monkeys, right? Well, I am now in the same training building, and in terms of animals, the only thing I can smell is bullshit. After the break, the cadets are drilled in communication skills, where even the most unlikely events must be anticipated.
Can see Rambo and the Fonz doing a high five.
Perfect.
Welcome back to Space Cadets. We've flown 9 members of the public to what they think is a space facility in the heart of Russia. But we've actually flown them to a disused military base outside Ipswich. On the upside, though, they will be getting flights to the real Star City in Russia. Yeah, the real deal. Oh, and a load of cash for Christmas. More about that probably tomorrow. Of course, they don't know this yet, because as far as they're concerned, they're already in Russia, and a space mission is just around the corner. And with only limited seats available for the mission, I suppose it was kind of inevitable the conversation eventually turned to the rather delicate subject of just who would be selected for the honour of representing Britain as its very first televised space tourist. Have a look at this.
Has there only been one British person in space?
Well, there's been 3, but 2 of them were dual nationality. They were born in Britain, but they got visas in America. NASA sent them up, but they're American citizens.
Well,
but Helen Chamberlain is the only Brit that's gone up into space. She spent a week on that satellite.
I'd love to do it, like just for Wales.
Yeah, maybe it would be. You would be the first Welsh person in space.
That'd be wicked.
And we'd be the first Scottish, and we'd be like the second Brit. The
first male?
First male Brit, yeah. First proper male Brit. Oh, me. I'll make sure I sit at the front so I get there first. Ooh. I really want to go up there. I want to be one of the 4. I'm not feeling negative, I'm a positive person. But I just think there's so many good people here. Like, I mean, Frenchie, Andrew and the girls, like Shaggy and I mean, there's so many people that want it as well, as much as I do, and I mean, it's at my hands. There's no point worrying about it. I just got to get on with it and do what I can do now. But I want to go. You know what I mean? Just fucking go to space. Like, I don't want to have that feeling that, you know, I was nearly there. I want to be in the rocket sitting down, like when it takes off, and you know, going up to orbit and stuff. I want to go up to 200 kilometres and orbit the Earth and look out the window and stuff and see what it looks like from wherever. It's just going to be amazing, and I really want to be a part of it.
I don't think I'm going to go.
Honestly, I really don't think that I'm going to be going as... I'm not...
Yeah,
that sounds really like pessimistic,
no,
but it's not about being
yeah,
pessimistic.
100%, and you've got the same amount of chance as anyone else in
Yeah, I don't think I do really, though.
Why?
I'm really quite shit.
Why?
That's what I think.
Really shit at what? Listen, really shit at what? You've done every physical thing. I am crap at this.
I'll be happy for whoever goes there, but honestly, from the bottom of my heart, I'll be like, oh, go you. But I'd rather it be me.
Well, of course,
I'll be really
it be us, but I kind of know in my heart of hearts that...
Yeah, I'm
no,
not...
No way cares, no way.
No.
I really want to do it.
You'll pick the 4 best people at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Don't know how they'll choose them.
I know, but...
The next, it won't just be the fitness, it'll be everything.
They just want to see who's determined.
Yeah.
I just worry about it. I always worry about a test. I always have done. I've never really revised. I've never really sort of taken science and astrophysics, if you like, seriously. I've just never sort of... Because you never think you're going to need it. All of a sudden it's been dropped on you, and now it's a case of having to learn it. Right, now, why have we got to think about it? We've all come in here with nothing, yeah, nothing, no expectations. So when we don't get... If we don't get in, then we just got to think positively. Can you do that?
Yeah.
I can't. I'm trying.
Such a sad.
I'm trying so hard.
Whoops. Seems they're rather keen on this going into space business. You've really, at this point, got to pity the poor fool who has to greet them when they step out of the shuttle after 5 days. What's that? What do you mean it's me? Why can't you get Beadle or something with a beard? Time for me to show up. Well, I tell you what, that is going to require delicate communication skills, to say the least, isn't it? Coincidentally, something that our cadets are being trained in. Well, sort of. Everything you're about to see is false unless told otherwise. I tell you what, when I have to break the news to them, I want that Val bloke by me, yeah? With Kalashnikovs, just in case, yeah? Thanks, appreciate that.
Tom is teaching the cadets about communication between the shuttle and the land-based mission control.
What do you guys know, or think you know, about mission control? Yes.
I think mission control is where it sort of all goes back to. You relate back to mission control when you're in space to tell them how you're getting on and how things are.
Not bad, not bad. What about, do you agree?
Yeah, the mission control monitor the progress and hand out directives or directions.
Yeah, those are all not bad ways of putting it. It's a little bit more than that.
Time for our first bit of fun. How the cadets should refer to the different roles at mission control.
So the flight director is usually simply referred to as flight. The spacecraft communicator is generally referred to as Capcom. It used to be called the capsule communicator, hence Capcom. No one's ever changed it. Old habits die hard. Okay? So the flight dynamics officer is called FIDO, FDO, FIDO for short. The logistics dynamics officer is LIDO. The data dynamics officer is DIDO. Navigation, aeronautics, control and specialist is NACAS. And medical utilities maintenance interface is MUMMY.
So how is NACAS spelled?
NACAS. Navigation, aeronautics, control and specialist.
All of the lecturers are just so clever and just have really got loads of knowledge, and I wish I was as bright as that, to be fair.
Tom is about to put the cadets' communication skills to the test. He'll show them a series of pictures. They must use the correct introductory line to mission control and then describe exactly what they see. Will any of the cadets question the increasingly absurd pictures?
Just do your best to describe exactly what you can see.
If Orbiter 1 to Capcom Krimsk, I can see an astronaut who appears to be vomiting. He's kneeling on the floor.
Okay, vomiting was fine.
Yeah.
There was a little bit of an okay, just decide what it is you're seeing and just describe it as simply as you can.
Earth Orbiter 1 to Capcom Krimsk, I can see a cosmonaut sleeping.
Perfect.
Earth Orbiter 1 to Capcom Krimsk, I can see an astronaut under the shower, and there appears to be a problem with the shower. There's only a small drip coming out of the tap.
Exactly, yes. Yeah, a problem is a vague generalisation. There's only one drip coming out, tells us exactly what's happening.
lecturer who was teaching us was a nice man, to be fair. A little bit, eh? Just a little bit.
Earth Orbiter 1, good afternoon. To Capcom
Earth Orbiter 1 to Capcom Crimsk will do.
Now, I know the difference between doing something right and doing it right job's worth.
Well, assume this is the mid part of the conversation.
All right, to Capcom Crimps, it appears to be a puddle that I can see.
Yes, okay, that's fine. It appears to be as a little bit of a waste of words. Just, I can see a puddle or I can see a spillage is fine.
Well, I don't know if it is actually a puddle. It could be something else, couldn't it?
But you've been asked what you can see.
Okay.
So whatever follows that can be assumed it's what you're seeing.
Well, unless I touch it, or actually be an inch away from the puddle, it could have been a stain.
Earth Orbiter 1 to Capcom Crimps. It appears 2 cosmonauts are drinking.
That's okay.
It's fucking easy.
1, 2, 3.
Earth Orbiter 1 to Capcom Cribs. I can see 2 astronauts dancing.
Crimsk.
Crimsk.
Don't do crisps in space.
I said crib.
Earth Orbiter 1 to Capcom Crimsk. I can see 2 cosmonauts having a punch-up.
Fine. OK, now, if there should be any kind of delay, for example, because the satellite signal is being relayed, or because there's any kind of communications problem, then it may be required for you to take a slightly longer pause. So in this case, if there's any kind of delay receiving the answer, assume there's a similar delay, just take a pause of about 3 seconds, count to 3 in your head, and then continue as normal. And it can be useful to use that 3 seconds just to assess what it is that you're seeing. So I'm going to do the same exercise again. I've got some more cards here. These are on the more surprising end. OK?
Earth Orbiter 1 to Capcom Crimsk. I can see a monkey.
Anything else?
With a hat on.
What kind of hat?
A Russian hat.
I think it's meant to be a fez.
Oh.
Okay, but yeah, you don't know what details are significant or what details are not, so say everything that you can see. Anything else about this monkey?
It's got very big ears and a long tail.
Anything else that a monkey wouldn't normally have?
It's wearing a waist jacket.
Yes, a waistcoat. So again.
Okay. Earth Orbiter 1 to Capcom Crimsk. I can see a monkey wearing a fez and a waist jacket.
Thank you. Crimsk.
Crimsk.
Earth Orbiter 1 to Capcom Crimsk. I can see a monkey bashing up the flight deck and a Bruce Lee with a gun in his hand.
We're sure it's Bruce Lee?
Well, somebody with no top on and a thing tied round his head.
That would do. It is intended, this is probably just poor draftsmanship, it's intended to be Rambo.
Earth Orbiter 1 to Capcom Crimsk. I can see a man wearing a suit jacket with both of his hands with the thumb up sign.
Do you recognise him? Yeah, this could be poor draftsmanship. Anyone know who it's meant to be?
Who?
I think it's meant to be the Fonz. From Happy Days.
Oh, okay.
It was a good description.
Thanks.
It didn't look nothing like Fonz, the Fonz. It didn't look nothing at all. It looked more like my dad in a leather coat.
Earth Orbiter 1 to Capcom Crimsk. I can see a lecturer holding up a sign which says, "Do not say anything."
Good. That was quite a long pause. I'm not sure whether that flummoxed you, but that's the correct response.
I counted to 3.
Good. And finally...
Earth Orbiter 1 to Capcom Crimps. I can see Rambo and the Fonz doing a high five.
Perfect. OK, thank you very much. Here endeth the lesson. It was nice to see you all. I don't know if I'm going to see you again, but thank you and good luck.
We're only 3-4 days from launch, and that was the first sign of how serious it might get. So that was a bit of a kick up the ass, which I think we needed.
Earth Orbital 1 to Capcom Crimsk. I see a naked man running. He's just wearing a pair of brogues and he's got a big moustache. Oh my God, it's the mission commander. Well, he's been under a lot of stress. Good Lord. Okay, time for another break. And when we come back, sorry, got to be quiet because they're in the barracks just there. When we come back, tempers become frayed in an instant that will always be remembered as, and I'm sorry if this sounds puerile, Penisgate. Yeah.
I can't believe you've done that.
What's she done?
I'm
What's he
telling
done?
you now. It's not my cock.
Yes, it looks beautiful, doesn't it? It's only 9 people alive have actually been to the moon. Welcome back to Space Cadets. I'm speaking a bit quietly because I'm standing outside the barracks where our Space Cadets eat, sleep and enjoy a bit of R&R. Now, was that the loo going? That was the loo going, wasn't it? So far, they've been getting on great, but unfortunately, and I would hint somewhat inevitably, a little bit of friction has entered the camp. Now, the cause of the friction, as is so often the case, and millions of you will have experienced this, the cause of the friction was a penis. That's right. A penis. A penis.
Kerry is at the table doing some extra revision.
I need to go and blow my nose.
With her exercise book left unattended, Paul draws a penis on Kerry's revision.
Something that's never been done.
I don't know what I think about that.
They're so big and bad and good at everything, and when people are big and bad and good at everything, you don't put them in. They're not good at everything. They're like to be bigger and better. They've got more money.
I always think they're too gung-ho.
And their education system.
I can't believe you've done that. Do you know how long it's taken?
Dave, I never did that.
I can't believe you've done it.
I swear to God, if you
How
can...
long has it taken me to write this out?
Listen, Kerry, I never did that.
What's she done?
I'm
What's he
telling
done?
you now. It's not my cock.
I can't believe
That
that
is
you've
not my
done
cock.
that. Do you know how long it's
That's
taken
not
me to
my
write
cock,
this out?
Kerry.
Kerry, at least you know the cock page. Like, when you read it, it'll be the cock page.
Kerry, if I swear to God to you.
I think that's actually really bad.
I know it's really bad. I'm not joking
Why
about
would
it.
you do that? Charlie, who did it?
Kerry, make it into a rocket.
No, I think it's disgusting. Do you know how long it's taken me to write this out?
I know, babe, it's out of order.
It's practically an astronaut.
I never did it.
I can't believe... I just don't even want to talk to you anymore. You really piss me off now.
Kerry!
No.
Why?
Don't talk to me.
Why? Yeah, it's not your time.
No, it's not my fucking
Do you want me to
time,
fill
but
it
you
out
know what?
again? Do you want me to fill it out again? Even though it wasn't my cock, I will fill out your
would
work.
you-
I'm not grassing.
Well, of course it's you.
Oh, right. Well, I do cocks like this, if you remember rightly.
Get off.
I do thin cocks, remember?
Yeah, because that's yours.
Oh, yes.
This is a very powerful oxidizer.
Hello, chicken.
Hello.
You alright?
I'm sitting here talking to myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You should see what Paul's done to mine. I went to the toilet and then I came back and he drew a big penis on it. But it just pisses you off there, doesn't it? That you just
On
want
your-
your butt
on
to...
your new thing?
On my new stuff, yeah.
Oh, I would have went nuts.
I did. I said, what? But, you know, he just turns it into a joke. But the thing is, right, I really like Paul, but, you know, when he's all being serious and stuff and he wants us to take him serious, then how can you if he's going to do something like that? And I'm like, for God's sake, you know,
It's just-
they take it in a lot easier than what I do. So if I'm going to have to, like, take a couple of hours out to read this, then so what?
Paul, are you being a naughty boy?
No, it's just drew a bellend on a girl's bit of paper and she's had a breakdown.
Yes, but hold on a second. Like Cheryl said, if you would have written all your stuff out and we would have started defacing it, well, how would you feel? Mister, take me seriously.
No, if I went through life worrying about what people said to me all the time...
Yeah, but...
Hang on, can I finish my conversation?
yeah, that's fine.
And then, like, perhaps you can say it, and then I'll have mine, and then you have yours, and then...
Carry on,
But
then.
if I went through my life worrying about what people thought of me all the time, I'd never get on.
But you've got to understand that if you want people to take you seriously, yeah, you can play around, but don't, like, when someone's actually taking the time to do their stuff, then don't just shit
Right,
about
there's half a page. It's a willy. Grow up. If
No,
you
no,
want to
grow
worry
up.
about...
You grow up.
Well, grow up. A cartoon bellend
You know
on
what,
your
just
paper.
Fuck off, okay, Paul, just fuck off.
Fuck you now. I didn't mean to upset her.
But I ain't fucking worried about it.
Maybe that's right.
Hello there. OK, earlier, Charlie, one of our actors who's masquerading as a poet, got into the seasonal spirit by penning a special song. Now, if the cadets still believe he's a poet after this, then I've got to tell you that getting them on that fake shuttle is going to be a doddle. Enjoy this if you can.
It's a work in progress.
It's work in progress.
That's cool.
And it's called, it's a Christmas song. And it's called Christmas in Space. Is that a snowflake floating past the window of my rocket? Is that love I can feel in my spacesuit pocket? Is that Rudolph riding past on a meteorite? There are tears in my eyes, but it's not because my straps are too tight. It's because it's Christmas in space. The moon has got a smile upon her face. Santa Claus is wearing the Van Allen belt. And the nose cone of my rocket has started to melt. But I don't care, because it's Christmas in space. From way up here, I see hope for the human race. Santa Claus looks good in his solar flares. And the temperature in the spaceship is burning my hair. But I don't care, because it's Christmas in space. The moon, and it kind of goes round and round from that point on.
Charlie, that is absolutely fantastic. Will you write a poem about all of us?
It's difficult. It's nerve-wracking singing your own work.
Oh.
I understand what Elton John feels like now.
You really put yourself on par with Elton John?
Yeah, I mean, he's done some good songs.
OK, that is about it for this evening. On Saturday, which is tomorrow, we reveal the first signs of love in the camp. But who are the potential lovebirds? Find out tomorrow on Space Cadets. See you then.